I thought somewhere you guys text me a lot when you're there.
Yes.
Me and Margita. And I saw, what did you go do? 2 rides the whole trip?
We did
Three.
three.
We made it up to 3.
Which I think Margita was horrified.
So we said, for years we've been trying to get Margita to come by herself on a girls' trip with us. And we said after the fact, maybe we shouldn't have told her that we only rode 3 rides because we probably lost her now forever.
I know how you could fix that. Bring Noreen.
Okay.
Bring Noreen with you.
That's true. Bring Noreen, and we can send Noreen off with
Margita.
Margita in the morning.
Yeah, 5 nights at Walt Disney World, 3 different resorts, a whole lot of great food, pin trading, and champagne, and exactly 3 rides. Yep, 3. Hey, Disney geeks, Curtis Stone here, host of the Geekin on Walt Disney World podcast. This week, my good friends Wendy and Samantha are back with another fun trip report. They stayed at the Boardwalk, Grand Floridian, Boulder Ridge, and hit a big Epcot pin drop. Tried some great restaurants and lounges, spent the day at a Disney pin trading show, and somehow proved you can have an amazing Disney trip without spending much time on attractions at all. Before we jump into this fun trip report, if you're planning Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, Universal, Epic Universe, or another magical vacation, my wife Margita and Aunt Judy, they're the traveling tiaras and they'd love to help you. Booking or transferring your vacation through them is a wonderful way to support the podcast, and we truly appreciate every geek who does. Get started by emailing them, travelandtiaras@gmail.com. You don't have to write it down. Just check the show notes on that podcast app that you're listening right now. You'll see their email as well as mine. And let's get started on your magical trip. Yeah, my good pals Wendy and Samantha have a fun trip with 3 resorts and 5 nights. The craziness of an early morning Epcot pin drop, the new Alice in Wonderland tea experience at the Grand Floridian, Trader Sam's, Citricos, Narcoossee's, Geyser Point, and plenty more food, a huge Disney pin trading show, and why some of our favorite moments happened completely outside the parks. Because as Wendy and Samantha discovered, sometimes the best Disney memories are the ones you never planned. All right, Disney geeks. Grab your pins, pack your resort hopping luggage, pour yourself some good champagne, and apparently don't worry too much about riding anything. Well, it's a beautiful day here in Connecticut. 71 degrees on a Sunday afternoon. And 2 of my favorite pals are back. And they got a trip report. I'm looking at their notes. I can't believe. I didn't realize they were going to Disney World all week. They got lots to talk about. I got Wendy and Samantha are back on the show.
Hi.
Hey, geeks.
Welcome back. Thanks for coming on a Sunday afternoon.
Well, we got nothing better to do. I'm trapped in Florida.
And you said it was a beautiful day in Connecticut. Well, in Florida, it's actually thunder showers and a little rainy right now, which we haven't had rain in forever. We're in a drought situation. So the rain is good, except we couldn't go to the beach today.
Well, I'm glad that Connecticut is better weather-wise for once. Looks like you guys did 3 resorts?
We stayed in 3 resorts in 5 nights.
Correct.
I saw you packed enough for a family of 6.
A lot of extra packing because the last day of our trip on Saturday, we had planned to go to a pin show. So like one carry-on size suitcase was just filled with pins. And then a regular size suitcase was like clothes and then assorted like, snacks and extras.
Snacks and wine and champagne.
Correct.
So Samantha, you're stuck there in Florida.
I am. So I came here on Sunday intentionally, stayed with Wendy on Sunday night, and then we drove up to Disney on Monday. And then yesterday when we were at the pin show, I got a text from Delta saying, your flight's canceled. We tried to rebook you, but failed. Here's a link to try to do it yourself. And the best I could do is Monday afternoon. So I came back to Sarasota for 2 nights.
It's not the time of year to get canceled coming up to New York.
Apparently, it's been storming for 2 days in New York, and city's flooded, and who knows?
Yeah, we were supposed to have another big storm last night. I slept through it if there was one. I can't tell you if it was. I slept like a rock.
I know our friend Andy was in New York for work while we were in Florida, and he got stuck on the other side, not able to get out.
Oh, really? Yeah, he texted me with a Yankee hat on from Yankee Stadium. I was so excited. I got to ask him what he thought of Yankee Stadium.
He didn't invite you to go to a game with him?
No, he probably knew I wouldn't go. He was there for work. Maybe he was with work people. All right, let's look at this. Now, Wendy, I'm very proud of you. I'm not surprised. Are you telling me you have stayed at every resort? Is that every DVC resort or now every resort?
Every DVC resort. And Sam keeps telling me
Except one.
I haven't stayed at the cabins of Fort Wilderness. And I said, well, I'm not going to stay there. So that's not even a possibility.
So I'm saying I've stayed at every resort.
But like now at Wilderness Lodge, I've stayed at Copper Creek Villas. I've stayed at Boulder Ridge, which is my last one. And I've stayed at the cabins. Polynesian, I've stayed at the Tower. I've stayed in a regular DVC room. I stayed at a bungalow. And all the other I stayed at Animal Kingdom club level. I've stayed regular in both resorts. I stayed, basically at all the other DVC resorts. So we finally got to check the last one off the list Friday night.
Which one was that?
Boulder Ridge.
Okay. Yeah.
And I've always shied away from booking Boulder Ridge because I just kind of thought it was going to be older and the building is set aside from Wilderness Lodge, where Copper Creek is inside Wilderness Lodge. But I was surprised. The rooms were very nice. I mean, they had been renovated. They had the pull-down Murphy beds. So our room actually slept 5 because it had a regular queen bed, a pull-down queen bed, and then another, what Andy refers to as the baby beds. So I was actually impressed by how nice it was.
And I thought it's not too far off the lodge. And the walk is really nice. There's like a little wooden covered walk.
So if you know Wilderness Lodge, if you go through the lodge towards the pool, as you are walking towards Geyser Point, the buildings are on the right. And that's where Boulder Ridge is.
Yeah, it's the newer of the DVCs for Wilderness Lodge. Fantastic.
So we wanted to book either Beach Club or Boardwalk Monday night because we wanted to do the pin drop at Epcot in the back, walking in through World Showcase section. So we booked Boardwalk. That was intentional. Then we were at the Grand Floridian for 3 nights. Also intentional. But I couldn't get a 4th night at the Grand Floridian. I kept trying. Every day I kept trying. I kept, looking at on the DVC website. When we got there, every day we would go to the front desk and we really tried to extend our stay and it just didn't work. So we had to move for the last night. And Selena came to join us on Thursday. So we really needed a room that would sleep 5. So 3 beds.
Now you're driving. Are you having Disney move your luggage?
Yes. And we're laughing because we had a little incident.
We had Disney move our luggage, except for going from Grand Floridian to Boulder Ridge. We said, they don't guarantee anymore that if you give them transfer a cold item, it's going to remain cold. But if you drop a cold item off at Bell Services, they'll put it in the fridge. So we said, we'll transfer all of our luggage, but we'll drop the coolers off at Bell Services. So we know they'll be cold. So when we got to Boulder Ridge and called to ask for our luggage, they were having trouble. They had the coolers, but they were having trouble finding our full luggage transfer. So the bellman comes to our room and says, I have good news. The good news is we have all of your bags. The bad news is something must have broken in one of these cooler bags. So Wendy immediately says, well, there's a bottle of Vouv in that cooler bag. And the bellman said, don't worry, whatever. I don't know how it could have possibly broken because you left it off and we just took it off the shelf, but whatever's broken, we'll make it right. So we open the bag and pull out the Vouv, and the Vouv is intact. So all is well with the world. Then we pull out a bottle of wine, and that's intact. So fine. So we're trying to figure out what is it that's possibly, leaking through this bag. And we had a bag of ice in there. So we figured that's what he thinks was broken and making that rattling noise. But Wendy had put a corksicle cup of wine that she hadn't drank the night before in the cooler bag. So that must have gotten knocked over and the lid wasn't as secure. And so the second the bellman saw that, well, Wendy said, "So you said something about making this right?" And you could tell the guy was thinking to himself, "You're the idiot that put an open cup of wine in the cooler bag and checked it. We're not doing anything for you." And the poor guy we noticed as we got leaving, he had a wet spot on his uniform pants from where the wine had leaked through the cooler.
Yeah. So that's our little bag. But yes, we did have Disney transfer. And one of the reasons why was, one, we had a ton of stuff. And two, Sam has an owner's clapper. So that had to be transfers. And that's really heavy. Yeah. So, we did have them transfer.
So, Wendy, what's your favorite resort now that you've stayed at all of them?
That's a really interesting question. I think I like staying where I'm going to be going. So if I'm going to be at Epcot, I love going into that back gateway. So either Beach Club and Boardwalk just for the location. Same thing with Bay Lake Tower. I know that's John's favorite. That was our first home resort. It's just walking to the Magic Kingdom. It just makes the transportation easier. And then for peace and quiet and restfulness, Animal Kingdom Lodge, because we love that. And then even the Wilderness Lodge is really quiet. So I guess it depends on what the goal is for our trip.
Wow, that's a very diplomatic answer.
Well, I like them all.
I got upgraded for tomorrow.
Excellent.
Nice. You put in your notes that Grand Floridian was your favorite resort, but the room at Boardwalk was your favorite.
Well,
we had a little
incident at Grand Floridian. So, first of all, they renovated the rooms at Boardwalk, and they're beautiful.
Yeah,
and so they have a full-size Murphy bed and a toddler Murphy bed. So they're really nice, and they did a nice job with the renovation.
And the theming is really nice too. It kind of reminds me a little of the Riviera style with like the blues and the pictures on the wall, and just really more updated and modern version than it was before.
So the Grand Floridian has always been my favorite hotel. That's where I own, and it's just my favorite resort on property. But we got to our room, and we made a mistake that we'll never make again. And we gave the bellman our luggage tag on our way to the room.
Before we saw
the room. So we shouldn't have done that, because we got to the room and we immediately realized it was a handicap accessible room, which is great if you are someone that needs a handicap accessible room. But if you're two people that don't need a handicap accessible room
and have a lot of stuff,
it's not the best. So we walked into the room, and the first thing we saw was the microwave. Usually it's in like the little kitchenette, but there was a table next to the second bed with a microwave on it, because usually it would be high up. Then we walk into the bathroom, and there's only just like one sink and no counter, because you need the bathroom to be open space if it's a handicap accessible room. But there's two of us, and then there was going to be three of us
when Selena
gets there with all of our makeup and toiletries and things. So one little sink was not going to really cut it. So we did a little rearranging of furniture in the room.
Oh, you didn't switch out rooms?
Well, all of our luggage was by the time we realized this and how difficult it was going to be, all of our luggage was already there, because we had given the bellman our ticket on the way up. So we said, "Oh, it'll be fine. We'll survive." But as you kind of live in a space a little bit longer, you realize it's less and less convenient. Right. And also, we were trying to stay for an extra night. So we thought to ourselves, maybe, if this handicap accessible room is available, that's maybe why they gave it to us, and we'll end up getting the fourth night, which we didn't end up getting. So,
all right.
But some of the things you don't notice right away, Kurt, is like the beds were lower. So, which makes sense, but we couldn't fit suitcases under there to store them, for example. And that's something, we knew the microwave right away. We knew the bathroom right away. But the more we kept living in the space, And I've had a handicap accessible room just for me, and for one person or for, a couple, maybe it's fine. It just was because it was Sam and I, we had so much stuff, and then Selena was coming. It just wasn't as good as it would have been if it was a regular standard room.
I would have loved to see, I had meant to move the furniture back before we checked out.
We forgot.
But we were in a bit of a rush and we forgot. And so I would be interested to see the housekeeper's look on her face when she walks in and finds the table that's usually in the bedroom in the bathroom.
And like Sam's luggage was in the bathroom because we needed someplace to store it. It was a little bit of an adventure. I mean, other than that, I do love the Grand Floridian has one building that's all resort studios. That's all it is. And it's the only DVC property that has 2 queen beds rather than a queen bed and a pull down bed. So if I'm going to be booking a room that I know it's going to be like girlfriends, it's just a better option if I can get it because there's two beds.
I'm really sad that you had a tough room at the Grand Floridian.
I know. It's really hard to work up right. Work up, being empathetic at how hard it was.
Yeah, crocodile tears for you guys having to stay at the Grand Floridian. Now, looks like to me, to your notes, this was a heavy food-related trip.
I didn't feel like that until I was writing our notes.
Right.
And I said, wow, I guess we really ate a lot on this trip.
Which is fine with me. I thought somewhere, you guys text me a lot when you're there.
Yes.
Me and Margita. And I saw, what did you do? 2 rides the whole trip?
We did 3.
We made it up to 3.
Which I think Margita was horrified.
So we said, for years we've been trying to get Margita to come by herself on a girls' trip with us. And we said after the fact, maybe we shouldn't have told her that we only rode 3 rides because we probably lost her now forever.
I know how you could fix that. Bring Noreen.
Okay.
Bring Noreen with you.
That's true. Bring Noreen. And we can send Noreen off with
Margita
in the morning.
Yeah, they would be happy to do that.
Just like we did my Disneyland report, and John and I were talking about, we didn't, other than we made our lightning lanes, we really didn't have a huge plan. We didn't have a plan, mostly.
We had a dining plan and a pin plan, and that was about it.
Right. And so that's all we had on it. So every time we went to do something, we're like, yeah, we could do that. We really have nothing else better to do. Which is how these things happen.
Did you make dining reservations then?
Yes.
We did, yes.
How long ago did you plan this?
Well, that's an interesting question. Wendy?
I'm so good at what I do.
Originally, Sam took the time off because I had booked a few nights at the Grand Californian because I was able to get 3 nights in a row. But at the time I booked it, I didn't know if I wanted to go back there in July after just going in April. So we won't rehash everything, but instead of going back to California, we decided to go to Disney World. So we really didn't have a lot of time to plan. Probably in May.
Book it until we were within our 60-day.
Right. Yeah, it was within the 60 days. That's true.
It's kind of impressive that you still got DVC rooms.
Which is why that's part of the reason why we were at 3 resorts.
Right.
That's what we could get.
Yeah, you're good at that, Wendy, for sure. All right.
Wendy is good at that.
Yes.
Even up to the last,
I was working the last one. That last
night was originally I think when you just aired the podcast this week and we listened to it on our way back. At that time, which was only 2 weeks ago, we were at Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Yes, and I had a 1-bedroom for Friday night because John was going to drive up with my niece and Sam and I were going to be there. So I got a 1-bedroom. And I also had a studio at Saratoga just in case John decided not to come up. So I had 2 rooms booked for Friday night.
So that went from Animal Kingdom Lodge in the last 2 weeks since we recorded that Disneyland report. It went from Animal Kingdom Lodge to Saratoga to Old Key West and then to Boulder Ridge.
Correct.
I'm confused already. I wanted to tell you guys, I don't know if Margita mentioned to you during our chats, but she was able to get Saratoga Springs for 2-bedroom for Johnny's first trip.
Nice. Fun. What are you going?
In February.
Awesome.
I'm excited for that. I've never stayed. I stayed there just a little, a couple nights or something?
You stayed there 1 night with us.
Yeah. Maybe that's all the extent of what I've done there. So I think that's great for A
Yeah, that would be
2-bedroom.
great.
Yeah.
If you can, between now and February, could I make a recommendation that Margita put in a wait list at Kidani Savannah View? Because when I went with my grandson was 2, that was a real highlight of seeing the animals on the savannah when we
Yeah.
were there.
Or you could tell her yourself.
I could. Hey, so
I like
we
that
didn't
idea,
really have
though.
a lot of plans for this trip. So we
No.
left. Apparently, we ate a lot. We did. Apparently, we left here Monday morning, and we arrived. We dropped our stuff off. We went to Animal Kingdom. We did a little pin trading, and we went to lunch at Yak and Yeti, which I always like. That's always a fun place to go.
Yes, I felt like I hadn't been there in a while, so
Mhm.
and I love those tuna nachos, so we went back.
And they have a dragon roll bowl, which if you like tuna poke, that's basically what it is. It has rice on the bottom, and then it has tuna, edamame, cucumbers, avocado. It's very nice. It's kind of like a big, like I said, dragon roll, basically in a bowl. So I had that, and it was one of the reasons why we both went there is because we knew we wanted something specific.
Good choice. All the geeks love that one.
Yeah. And then we head back to Boardwalk, waiting for our room to be ready. And I think we were planning on doing something else, but it started to rain. So then we decided we were stuck in our room, but we did have cheese and crackers and champagne. So we thought, well, we just have a little something.
A little snack.
And then we went to a not new, but then we went to a lounge at the Boardwalk called, was it
Bellevue, which we had never been to. I don't think I had ever been there before.
I had been there years ago, but we had gone there because it was raining. So we didn't want to go out yet to the restaurant. And so we went up there, and I started this new thing on the trip. I had a lot of non-alcoholic drinks. So I was trying them in a lot of different places. And some were good and some were not good.
You liked the one you had there.
I did.
I don't remember what it was called.
I don't remember.
But it had some type of Topo Chico in it. Blackberry, raspberry, something like
it was
that.
some I think hibiscus fruity type of seltzery drink, which was good. And I think you had an espresso
And
martini.
I had the espresso martini there because I had heard that it was good, and it was good.
So we really had to stop there because it was raining. But, we put up with the rain and stopped for drink.
And I got to check an espresso martini off my list.
Exactly. And then we walked to Cake Bake Shop for dinner, but we'd already had some snacks.
Kurt has a question.
Okay.
I don't recognize the Bellevue Lounge. Whereabouts is that?
When you walk into the lobby of the Boardwalk, if you go left and you keep walking, you will find the Bellevue Lounge.
Yeah.
It's
If you're walking
small.
in from the boardwalk side.
From the Boardwalk side, correct.
Yeah. Okay, that's what. Okay, I didn't know. I know where.
It's like left and up the stairs.
I didn't know it had a name. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of tucked away, but
I've been in there.
and then we went to Cake Bake Shop, but we already had some snacks. So at Cake Bake, we just shared a salmon.
We both loved the salmon sandwich
Yeah,
there.
so good.
Ooh, what
and
kind of bread?
fries.
What kind of bread is that on?
I don't know. It's
Sounds
on
like a brioche
roll. I think it's
bun.
on a brioche. Yeah, on a brioche roll. And it's like salmon. And they come with the fries. And the truffle fries are really good. But we had already had snacks, so we didn't really need a whole everything. So
So our waiter said he understood. We were just having girl dinner.
right. And then I did try a non-alcoholic drink there, but it was so sweet I couldn't drink it, and he just took it back, and I didn't, because I'm like I was fine having wine and champagne. I just didn't want to. I decided I wasn't going to drink anything that I really didn't love. So, and they didn't have any wines I loved there. So
Sam, I feel like you've said that's one of your favorite new places.
I think that's my favorite meal on property, that salmon sandwich.
Wow.
I still think I like Citrico's as an atmosphere better than Cake Bake Shop, but that's my favorite thing to eat on property.
What's on the sandwich?
So it's like this really good salmon fillet,
mhm.
and I don't know what it's marinated.
It's
in.
like but it has some aioli on
yeah,
it.
it has like
Aioli,
a garlic aioli, or I think it's like a pesto aioli.
it's really good.
Oh,
And like
that-
lettuce, tomato.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
That sounds really good. And a millionaire cake. It cost $1 million. I know it's expensive there, but
Oh, that was
I
like,
didn't. I think I don't know, $22 or something.
but we didn't eat that there. We just took it to go, and we
We literally had it every night when we got back to our room, a couple of bites, up until when Selena was there on Thursday and Friday, she was still picking at it. So
that cake
the
lasted
cake
us like
lasted
5
away.
days.
Did you bring some salmon sandwich back or I think it was a grilled cheese incident.
It was a grilled
There
cheese.
was a grilled cheese incident, but there was no grilled cheese on this trip.
on this trip. No.
Selena knew better than to eat your grilled cheese.
To get between Wendy and her grilled cheese.
And that story did come up, actually.
It did come up.
There's some legendary stories from our trips.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes, it was, it was the day you just got in. So for the day that we just arrived, we did quite a few things. We did go to a park. We did went to a lounge. We went to a couple places to eat. And then we got
rode
ready.
no rides. The ride count on Monday was zero.
Now, I know you did a pin trading. You mentioned, a pin trading show at the end here we're going to talk about. But
Yes.
how was your exploits in normal pin trading during the week? How would you rate it?
I would say there was something we were hoping was going to happen this week, and it didn't happen. So that was disappointing. But other than that, I think it was successful. We did, I feel like, more pin purchasing on this trip than maybe trading.
So Tuesday morning, the reason we stayed at Boardwalk is Tuesday morning, we wanted to go to pin draft. So we got there at like 6:20 to get in line to go into the back of the park. You would think that we'd be near the front, right? But our bracelets were number 31 and 32. So there were that many people in front of us at 6:20 in the morning. And so you're waiting before the gates even opened up to go in through that World Showcase entrance. So that was most of Tuesday morning was pin drop.
What's pin drop?
Every Tuesday, Disney comes out with these limited release pins. There might be a limited release of 2,000, or there might be a limited release of 2,500, or if you're really lucky, there'll be a limited release of 4,000. But that's over Disneyland, Disney World, Shop Disney, and some of the stores like the New York City store. So even though they say, oh, there's 2,000 pins, it doesn't mean there's 2,000 pins at Epcot. It means there's 2,000 pins total. So maybe there'd be 200 or 300 pins at Epcot. And there's a limit on purchasing those of 2. So every Tuesday, there's something different that's a limited release. So if you can go on Tuesday, you want to go on Tuesday to get these because they're hard to get and they make really good traders. And if you can buy them in the park, you get your discounts, which is different than if you buy them online, you get no discounts. So we got it. Well, we won't say we got mostly everything we wanted. Yes. And nothing that we needed, as I told Jen Bashhelzer. And I don't know how often they do the artist release, maybe
I think once a quarter.
Okay. So there's a special pins that are an artist designs them, and on the pin casing that it comes wrapped in, it talks about the artist. And on that day, Tuesday, the 2 artists were there to sign their pins. So if you went and you picked up their pins, afterwards you can go and have your pins signed. So that's why Tuesday morning, pretty much it's all we did was got the pins. We went to trade a little bit. We went to get our pins signed, and then it's like lunchtime. I mean, it took all morning to get that accomplished.
That's a lot of fun. I didn't know anything about this. I bet I've never heard you guys talk about this. And how many people were in line then? If you said you were in the early 30s?
Oh, hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah.
Like we were done.
And they have a line at the back of the park, and then there's obviously a line at the front entrance. So they kind of, Epcot is very civilized, which is why we like to go there for pin drop, because they gave everybody in the line before you even entered the park a numbered wristband. Then they walked everybody over to the store and lined everybody up back in line with their numbers.
Wow.
And then they kind of take the front line and the back, front of the park line and back of the park line, and take 10 from one line and then 10 from another line and merge the 2 lines together. So that's why we kind of like going in the back, because there's less people back there. So you're better off getting a lower number if you're in the back.
Okay. Wow. I'm glad it wasn't.
They're super organized. Inside the store, they have tape on the floor, which shows you with arrows where the line's going to go. And they just go back and forth with these lines through the store to get up to the front. And then they have the regular checkout stands. And then they have tables set up with auxiliary checkout stands. So they'll have someone with like a handheld cash register type of thing, and all the pins are in the back. So maybe there's like an extra couple cast members doing the auxiliary plus the other lines, and there's cast members all over making sure people don't cut in line, which I will tell you in the fall was not like that. And so it was not as fun to go to pin drop. But you're with these people for like 3 hours. You make friends, you talk to them, and it's a much more you have to wait, but it's a much more civilized process.
I was in my mind thinking Black Friday at Walmart at midnight. The trampling getting.
I think it was like that for a while back when Wendy went in the fall. It was very much like Black Friday at Walmart, and like they had to really clean up what they were doing at Disney Springs because they had a lot of incidents of people behaving poorly. But it seems like they've really cleaned it up and gotten a good system down.
So it's good fun then. Yeah, I know you're hanging out with people that.
But if you say, why didn't you ride any rides? That took like the whole morning. And we were there, like I said, at 6:20. So that was the whole morning. And then we went to GO82. To GO82.
What a nice.
We had breakfast at Starbucks with Jen.
Yes. So Jen Batchelder and her daughter Peyton.
Oh, wow.
So that was fun. We got to meet up with her and get a chance to chat, which was nice.
Yes. So then after we got our pin sign, we went to GO82.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that's where I got a terrible drink.
You got a terrible drink, and I just got seltzer with a splash of cranberry juice, which you looked at it, it's like you couldn't even tell there was anything in there. I had to go back up to the bar and get more cranberry juice, but it's okay. But I mean, we had that, and then we found out that Trey was in town. So Sam went to meet with Trey, and I had to go move our car from Boardwalk to Grand Floridian. So that's what I did in the afternoon.
And I hung out with Trey and Jen for a little bit, and then I went and met her. And we went to
the Perch
for a little bit,
which is the bar in Grand Floridian.
The Perch.
The new one
in the lobby.
The new one, okay.
I like what do I like? Floridian 75? Is that what they call it? It's basically just their version of a French 75.
And I got a glass of champagne, and I complained, like, I can't believe I'm going to get this glass of champagne because it's $32. But I decided I wasn't drinking a lot of other drinks that I didn't want. So I was going to drink a drink that I did want. So I had a glass of champagne there while we were waiting for our ring to be ready.
Was it worth $32?
No. Well.
Is it good?
I mean, yes, it's very good.
It's her favorite champagne, but we also had a bottle of it in the.
No, it was Tattinger's.
Oh, it was Tattinger's.
Okay.
It wasn't even her favorite champagne.
But I would rather have something I really liked for $32 than order something I didn't want for $24.
Yeah.
So that was my justification.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. What do you think of that lounge bar? I was there when it was under construction.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I thought at times the service has been really great. I thought this is the first time I would say the two servers that waited on us had absolutely no personality. Like, they weren't engaging. They didn't talk to the people. When I went to sit at the bar, it was little like 3 something. There's only me and this other woman who kept saying she was saving a seat next to her for her sister who never came. And so it was only the two of us at the bar, and there was like these two servers, and they never talked to us. They were only talking amongst themselves. And even now I wasn't going to order a second drink, but even when I was done with my drink, I sat there for a really long time. They never even came over and said, do you want something else? How do you like it? There was no engagement. They were the two of them were off doing their own thing. And even when you try to talk to them, I don't know. It wasn't as good as I would say it has been in the past.
Yes. We've been there in the past and the servers have been good. I like the bar itself. I'm a little bit sad that supposedly they're not having the gingerbread house anymore, which I think there's still enough room to put the bar and the gingerbread house. So that's a bummer.
But there was a ton of construction at the Grand Floridian. If you walk in and even you have to kind of change the way you walk to the right. There's all kinds of scaffolding in the front and the back. So I think that might be
that's why
they're,
and it'll just be a 1 year thing. They don't
I hope so. This is now the second year they're not having it. So, and then, then we went up to our room, which, as you know, was not our favorite room, but we kept it.
And then we walked over to the Polynesian Tower and went to Wailulu for dinner.
I love Wailulu. What'd you guys have to eat there?
We both had the poke bowl, and it was really good.
It was good.
This was my first time being able to sit outside. The last time I went there, we got put in the inside section, which I kind of just think is like a hallway off the lobby. It's not very nice ambiance to eat in. So I was happy that we could sit outside.
But as was the theme, there's also scaffolding set up there. So like when you went to look at the water and look like where the fireworks would be, there was all scaffolding because there was, and the cast member actually told us it was supposed to be a 2-month project that took
It was
like
supposed to be a 2-week project that took like 3 months.
that took like 3 months. They were doing something to the roof. They were extending the roof because they said when it rained, that things would flood because
it was too short.
The road was too short. So they had this project. So there was a lot of scaffolding there also.
I was wondering, it's kind of new that they're already doing scaffolding.
Yeah, it sounded like it was a little miscalculation.
A design flaw, maybe.
Designed it.
Oh, that makes sense. Getting back to the Grand Floridian, you're not encouraging me. I've always said it's a little stuffy there to me. And
it's not stuffy.
No, totally not stuffy.
The resort itself is the best.
I'm thinking of the Titanic. You know the Titanic when all the rich people are up on the top, and it's very.
No, it's not like that.
It's not like that.
And then down below, it's like Raglan Road, and everyone's.
There were a lot of.
There's a ton of family and a ton of kids running around. It's not. It wasn't what you were thinking. At all.
I'm just trying to be funny. I get you. Sometimes it's a different environment, different day.
So then Wednesday.
We went to Magic Kingdom and we finally rode a ride.
So no rides on Monday, no rides on Tuesday. But Wednesday we went to Magic Kingdom. We went there for rope drop-ish. And
I had a very specific 2 things I wanted to ride on this trip, which was the new Big Thunder Mountain. And I haven't ridden Peter Pan's Flight in a long time. And that's one of my favorite rides. So I said, if we have time and there's not a line and we're there early enough, I would like to do those 2 things. So that's what we did.
But I will tell you as a Geekin tip, so Big Thunder Mountain has been recently reopened after it was renovated. And the lines for that are longer than they have been in the past. And so when they first opening, the wait time was probably like 40 or 50 minutes because I think everyone at rope drop went right there and got in line. The lines were really long, but we stood in line for Peter Pan. And when we were done, we said, let's see how long it is for Big Thunder. It was like 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
I think once all those initial people rode and got through the line, then it was much better because we were able to go early entry at 8:30. So actually before 8:30. So we were able to get to Big Thunder around the time the park was opening around 9 o'clock. So
what's your impression?
That's what I would do. Do another ride first. And then afterwards, try Big Thunder if you don't have a lightning lane for it.
Good tip. And what's your impression of Big Thunder Railroad?
I liked it. I mean, I always liked it, but it's much smoother now. And, I knew there was some kind of change. So the whole ride, I was like waiting for whatever is going to be this new surprise. And it was cute.
Yeah, good.
I was in Disney World the week before with my kids and my grandkids. So I had ridden all these rides the week before, and I did a ton of rides because my grandkids were there. And John and I were riding it, and there's one thing that was missing from the old ride to the new ride, which I don't know if I should say or not, but he was very disappointed that it was gone. But then he liked, the things that they added were really fun.
What is it?
And beforehand, Wendy said to me, told me this and said, see if you notice the thing that's gone. And I came off. I said, no, I didn't notice. I don't know what it is. And so she told me what it was. I'm like, I don't remember that was ever even there.
What was it?
Shall I be a spoiler and tell you?
Yeah, no one else knows.
It's not a quintessential part of the ride. I didn't even notice it was on.
So there was a part of the ride when you're, zigzagging in the back, and in like the scenes in the back, there was a bathtub, and there was a man sitting in the bathtub that kind of looked like Orville from Carousel of Progress. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And that's not there in the newer version.
All
there are other things that are newer.
And I said, do you think they took that out because Uncle Orville's going to be gone from Carousel of Progress and nobody's going to know what this reference is?
Oh, good trivia question.
Could be.
All right, let's get back to the food.
So we did our 2 rides and we were done at Magic Kingdom.
You did food there though, right? No.
No, we didn't. We went over so we wanted to spend some time with Trey. So we said we'll meet him, and we hadn't been to Trader Sam's since they started opening earlier. So we said we'll go to Trader Sam's and meet you at 11. So we had some time to kill, so we went over to Captain Cook's and got a terrible breakfast.
It was awful.
Oh.
I don't recommend for breakfast.
I had the breakfast wrap, which was like eggs and bacon and I don't know, maybe tomato or something in like a tortilla. And I really just wanted like a side of eggs and a little fruit, but they didn't have that. And so when I ordered my breakfast, there happens to be these like people coming around in suits with like their name tags. And they were like looking around and everything. I said, would you like a suggestion for Captain Cook? So she comes over, she goes, yes. I said, all the other quick serves in the morning, you can get a side of eggs. You can get it at Kona. You can get it at Contempo. You can get it at Gasparilla's. Like, why can't you get like a side of eggs there? Because that's what I would have gotten. I would have gotten a side of eggs. Later, when I went to Kona, I got like a kid's meal. I mean, I just want like a little something. And there really wasn't much of a choice. And so I got and it was the breakfast. I just thought it was not very good. And it was, I don't know, like maybe $11 or $12. And it was all flour tortilla and not a lot of filling.
Okay. Yeah.
I got the plant-based flour, which in their defense was exactly how it was described and pictured. But it was one of those things that like, it sounds better than it looked in the picture. And so I was like, surely that picture is bad. It's going to be better than that. It was exactly as it was. A few wedge potatoes, 2 plant-based sausages, and a little thing of, I'm sure they weren't actually eggs, fake scrambled eggs.
So Captain
But there
Cook's
just was really
breakfast
no seasoning, no nothing. It was.
But we knew we were meeting Trey for a drink, so we really thought we should have something to eat before we went over to Trader Sam's.
No egg sandwich?
No egg sandwich.
No egg sandwich.
Boy, now I'm
I will say, the experience of Trader Sam's at 11, now that they open at 11, far superior than to when they used to open at 3. We got there, maybe like 10:15 to get breakfast. And so we stopped by, actually, no, the night before, when we were over at Wailulu, we said, let's go over and ask, what's the process like now that they open at 11? Because it used to be when they opened at 3, you had to get there at 1 o'clock and wait in line for an hour and then put your name down and then roam around the Polynesian for an hour before you would be called. So we didn't know if that was still the case. So he said, no, probably, I can start taking names at 10:30 and there's not usually a line. So at 10:15, there was no line. We kept watching. There was never a line. The guy came out at maybe 10:45. So we went and said, our friend's running a little late. We'll probably want to be in at like 11:30. What do we need to do? And he said, come back at 11:30. I'm sure I'll be able to see you. So, and he was. So that was great.
Oh, wow. That's
and
good
it was
news.
still, I would say, pretty much every seat in the place ended up filling up in the first like 15 minutes that we were there. So I would say, anytime between 10:50 and 11:30, you're pretty much like good to go and walk right in, which
I mean, it was
very
during the
nice.
week though. I mean,
Yeah,
during the week.
it
I
was
don't know if
during
the
the week.
weekend is the same.
That's good news, though.
Yes.
And I had the best, I've been having a lot of the non-alcoholic drinks throughout Disney, trying them out. The best one that I had all week was at Trader Sam's.
Good. What was it?
So Trader Sam's had 2 choices for non-alcoholic drinks. And I asked our server, which one is less sweet? And he goes, neither one of them. Just get, what was it called? I wrote it down.
The Tahitian torch.
Just get the Tahitian torch without the alcohol, because that is, and it was the best one I had. It was really perfect.
Why?
It wasn't, I didn't want it sweet. And it was kind of like a soda without the sweetness. It was like a lot of seltzer, a little citrus, a little lime, and it was very light. And it was just perfect.
Oh, good.
And I always get the OA, the drink for 2, for 1.
So they're doing
really. I would say, I feel like almost everyone in that place had ordered something that came with a little gimmick. So like there was a lot of shows, so much so that like
that's all it was.
You know,
it's hard
how
to talk.
You order the black pearl and the big to do is, are you going to get a white pearl or a black pearl? And getting the black pearl is like a thing. Somebody ordered one and the guy did a whole to do, and oh my gosh, I've never seen this before. It's the black pearl. And the next person, another person ordered one immediately afterwards, and a different bartender was doing the show, and he pulled out another black pearl. And so, but you can't do that. The whole point of the black pearl is supposed to be special and
rare.
and rare and yada yada. So the original bartender looked at him and goes, "Oh, put that back. That one looks dirty.
That's not ready yet.
Not right. That's not right." So he put it back and pulled out a regular white one.
But there was like, if you order the Nautilus, there was like the drink, where you have to swim. So there was a couple of people who were that, a couple of people who were and the black pearl. So it was constantly to the fact that when we were talking, we got interrupted more and more. I mean, it was fun though. It was a fun atmosphere. I always like it there.
Yeah, as you're explaining that, I'm comparing in my head to the Beacon Barrel, and there's certainly a lot more activity and fun going on at Trader Sam's still. Yeah.
I think Trader Sam's kind of ebbs and flows because it can be a lot if people are ordering the right drinks. But then there are drinks that don't have a show, and so then you go for a while with nothing. Whereas Beacon Barrel, like the show is just on a loop,
right?
Because it just doesn't coincide with drink orders.
So is the three of you, Trey and you two?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. How's Trey doing?
He's good. So we had a whole, there's an old Geekin story of the first time we met Trey. We offered him anything in our fridge, and he took a glass of good champagne. And Wendy ripped it out of his hands and gave him something garbage.
I asked him if it was a champagne drink. He's like, "Well, no." He goes, "But I drink it." I said, "Never mind. We have something else for you."
So that's been an ongoing joke for the last 4 years that he's, hasn't been allowed to drink the good champagne. So on Tuesday, when we found out he was there, I had said, if you want to come over later, we've got cheese and champagne. And he responded, "I'm allowed to drink the good stuff." So when we got to Trader Sam's, he was like, "Whatever we do, we have to make it back to your room so I can have the good stuff." So we went to Trader Sam's. We stopped at Wailulu and had a bite to eat.
Just a snack. Yeah. Sam and I shared the sweet potato hummus. So it's a little something because we had breakfast. We didn't need like a lunch too. We had a little that. And I think Trey got the
tuna crisps, I think.
Tuna nachos.
Yeah. And then we went back to our room and Trey graduated to the good champagne.
Oh, good.
Yes.
This is good to know in case I'm ever staying with you guys again.
Right.
Yeah. If Wendy ever asks, "Are you a champagne drinker?" answer confidently yes. Otherwise, you'll be given
Once Upon a Vine.
Yeah,
Once Gift Shop.
I don't think I'd be I'm not a good liar though. I'm not a champagne drinker. So I'd be glad to give up.
Drink Once Upon a. Let me tell you something. You wouldn't be glad to drink Once Upon a Vine from the gift shop, even if you're not a champagne drinker.
The time that I tried it, Sam has it on video that I had to try my best not to spit it out and ran over to the sink and spit it out.
She tried her best and failed.
I did.
Well, I just recently recorded with Andy. We did our favorite restaurants, and your restaurant here, maybe it's when I was with you guys when I got my first chance to do Citricos. I'm a big fan.
Mm-hmm. Me too. That's my favorite.
And we had fun that night that we went in the lounge for some Citricos, and it wasn't very busy. We had a really nice server.
Yes.
And the meal's always stellar there. You can always count on, having something good.
It's a great atmosphere. For all the fun I made of Grand Floridian, I really like Citricos.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think the Grand Floridian has the best restaurants.
They do
on property because we did Citricos and Narcoossee's, and both of them are excellent.
And at the end of our meal at Citricos, the manager came around because they sent us at the end of the meal a complimentary glass of orange cello. Now, typically, it's called limoncello and made with lemons in Italy. But apparently,
and it came and was very yellow in color.
Right. And it just was like a little, so I tasted it. And normally limoncello is so strong, like I can barely get through some sips of it. But this was like actually pretty pleasant. And so the manager came around and said, "Oh, do you like that? That's my recipe." And he said, "I brought this recipe over for orange cello." And we're like, "Oh, it really is orange cello. We thought it was limoncello."
We had gaslit our waitress into believing that she had it wrong and it was limoncello.
And so he said that it was his recipe and then they worked on it. But he goes, "But I had to cut down the strength because I couldn't make it too strong for Dizzy," which is probably why I liked it. But it was a nice little let me give you an after dinner drink afterwards,
Yeah.
complimentary, which was nice.
Yeah, it was really nice.
See, I think I would like that too.
Mhm.
More than champagne.
It
Yeah.
probably would be really good with champagne.
It could be. So then afterwards, we went to Hollywood Studios. And you're going to ask, did you also do a ride there? No, we didn't.
Then why'd you go there?
There were some pins we needed to purchase.
That were just at the Tower of Terror gift shop. So my niece is a big pin collector and she collects a lot of Haunted Mansion, Tower of Terror, and they had just come out. So I said, when we get to Hollywood Studios, I need to get those. And Sam goes, oh, I need to get them for a friend too. And we had an earlier dinner reservation. So we went over to Hollywood Studios and we walked around a little bit, got the pins.
Hey, Samantha, did I get any pins? Nothing. She's
No.
blanking.
But you know what? I have a whole board of pins at home I have to send you.
Okay.
So I could have just answered yes and you would never know the difference.
I'm looking at my pin collection, which is half from you.
Me and Carl Casavecchia.
Yeah,
I always say, when people ask me things I collect, I say, I collect a lot of things for myself. And then I also collect a lot of things on behalf of other people that I want to be pin collectors and aren't. So
Give me that
did
one.
Carl send you that?
I think Carl gave me that one.
Oh,
That's
cool.
That's a really fancy one.
It is. Don't ever get rid of
Don't ever get rid of that.
I'm not trading
Like
that
you
one.
said, don't get rid of your Boma dining pin. Don't get rid of that pin.
That's a limited edition.
Yes. That's a really hard one to get. Because those ones are only accessible from cast members.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
I got another one right here, too. Maybe you gave me this
Do
one.
you have a pin?
That's a fancy one. Oh, yeah. Okay. You have that one.
Yeah.
You got to send me an updated.
My pin board's a 12 by 12 inch.
And I think it's not big enough. You need to upgrade.
Right there. Yeah, I need a bigger room.
You probably are okay with the room if you just got a bigger board.
I got no wall space. I got a lot of vinyl records and
Right. Yeah.
pictures. Okay, where are we? We're going into Thursday?
Yes.
Oh, you know what? You had the fish of the day at Citricos, red snapper and tilefish. Good.
I had the fish of the day, which happened to be tilefish. Tilefish is a local Florida fish. I've had quite a bit here. And in fact, when I told John I had it, he goes, oh, that's my favorite Florida fish. It's a very mild white fish, and you don't see it in other parts of the country.
Yummy.
But it's, like I said, it's local and it's really delicious.
All right. So Thursday, I can't say the name of this one because it's French, I think.
So we went back to Epcot and we needed to have breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
And what did we do in the morning? Well, we rode Remy. We rode a ride.
Yay.
Ride number 3 for keeping count.
Okay, we're done with the rides now. It's halfway.
Yeah, that's the end of it. We're done with the parks now, actually.
Okay.
So we went to Leon for breakfast. We got the quiche Florentine, which was delicious. And I had made a comment to Wendy earlier in the trip that they don't have a lot of the quick services don't really sell iced coffee. Like they have hot coffee. And if you go to mobile order, you can't do an iced coffee. And I'm sure you could get it over ice, but then the ice just melts immediately and it's watered down. So we were standing in line waiting for our quiche Florentine, and Wendy looks at the menu and says to me, oh, they don't have iced coffee. So I said, I guess we'll have to get champagne. So that's what we did. I went over and got us 2 glasses of champagne at
I brought a
9:30 in the morning
to the little table, and
Yeah,
we
you're
had quiche and champagne.
yeah, I think it was 10:30. I think it was after 10.
on vacation.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll go with that. But I will say we also got a half of a baguette to share. And it used to come with butter. And we were told they do not do that anymore.
They
So
don't
now
sell
the
butter any longer.
half a baguette comes plain and you cannot get butter.
Good thing you had champagne.
Good thing we had champagne. And good thing we were going to Narcoossee's that night because then
We actually didn't eat the bread. We brought it back to the room.
Yeah.
Sam had it for breakfast the next day with butter.
that I got to go from Narcoossee's at dinner.
Good save.
When we were going back to the Grand Floridian, we had a few things to do, but one of the things on our list that we wanted to try was the new tea room at the Grand Floridian. But I couldn't get a reservation because, as you know, we booked this trip into our 60-day mark. And I had an alert set up, and it kept checking.
Yeah, nothing ever came.
Nothing ever came. So after we were leaving Epcot on the way back to the room, we stopped at the lobby, and it was maybe like noon, maybe a little bit before noon. And I talked to the cast member that was standing up front. I said, "Oh, do you have any last minute cancellations?" And I had asked the day before too, and they didn't. And he goes, well, he says, if you want to look at the app, there's a party of 6. That's that. And he goes, you didn't hear it from me, but there's a party of 6 at one of, like, sometimes want to grab that. I said, but it's just the 2 of us. And he said, well, put down 2 adults and 4 infants. I said, well, is that like fair? Because we only get charged for 2 adults. And he goes, yeah. He goes, I'll see the reservation come in and I'll move a 4-top to the 6-top table and I'll move the 2 of you to a 4-top. So we did that. And of course, we weren't dressed. We had to go back, grab showers, get changed so we can be nicely dressed for the tea room. And at this point, Selena was driving on her way and I call her and I said, what's your ETA? And she said, well, around 2, I was going to stop, get something to eat, go to the restroom. And I said, we have a reservation at the tea room at 1:05. How fast can you drive? So
she said, I'll be there at 1:20. Can you stall? And
she was
she
1:22. And she was.
Wow.
She's like, I didn't stop to go to the bathroom. I didn't stop to eat. But she didn't have time to freshen up, but it was fine. So we all sat down and we had the tea room with the tea at the Grand Floridian, which I'm super excited we did that. That was a nice experience.
So you said it's new. I've heard of the tea.
So they used to do it years ago, and I think it was princesses. They did like a character tea with the princesses, and it's been gone for a while. I think it's been gone since COVID, and I don't know, maybe a few months ago, they brought it back as it's now, there's no more characters, but it's Alice in Wonderland themed. So Alice in Wonderland is my favorite Disney movie. Grand Floridian's my favorite resort. I don't particularly care for tea, but it had to be done. So it's basically modeled after high tea in London. And they have, a big case of how many, a dozen tea flavors?
Yes. And they list them all and what the aromas are and whether they're caffeinated or not.
And they give you a little sniffer. What's that box called?
They brought a box and there was maybe, I don't know, 8
like
different.
8 or 10, I guess.
And inside the box, when they opened up this wooden box, there were these glasses. And so the server would pick up the glass and he would have us smell what was inside the glass because that was the smell of the tea. So he did that and he had to smell all of the different tea varieties from this box with the glass in it that had the scents in it so we can decide what we want to order. So that was a little fancy part of it.
And we each started with one, but then you could, if you wanted to get another pot, you could get something else.
Which I did. I changed. I got a regular tea first and a fruity tea second.
And then they bring out a tower,
Well, first there was a savory scone.
Oh, you're right.
They started with the scone with butter. Those scones are so good. And they were really good. They had like fruit in them, like maybe apricot or some fruit in them. And then a couple different kinds of butter. So we started with that and our tea. And then after a while, they brought a 3-tiered stand tower, a little tower. Then it had 2 savory things at the bottom, a salmon something and a chicken salad something, which the salmon thing
was so good.
Was the best thing we had. That and the first savory chart. Yeah. And then the second layer
that had like a little egg salad sandwich and something else. I don't remember what it was.
I don't either. I don't think it was very good because we don't remember.
And then the top tier was all different sweets. And there's probably like 4 or 5 different sweets. And every single item on the tower was a different theme to Alice in Wonderland. So it was a little cucumber sandwich.
Oh, right.
The caterpillar cucumber sandwich. So it was like a little slice of bread with some cream cheese and then like sliced cucumbers, but
it made it look like
the caterpillar. And then the egg salad was Tweedledee and Tweedledum. So it was like a beet roll. So it was red. And then it had a little yellow flag in the top of it, like their hats. We had a little almond cake that was in the shape of the Mad Hatter's hat. So it was a matcha so that it could be green and in the shape of his hat. So everything was really well themed. And even the waiter's little script of describing things had all little nods to Alice in Wonderland in it.
Mm-hmm. It was super filling. Like if you think of tea, but by the end of that, I'm like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to have dinner. We have like a 6:40 dinner reservation later.
Sounds like a lot of fun for some of our, civilized guests. As Kevin would say.
It was really fun.
As
and there was a lot of little like mother-daughters in their pairs, and they're like little matching outfits.
And
It
we
was
had like
very
little
cute.
fascinators
Yeah.
on. So
Which is how we would have been dressed if we had had it planned ahead of time.
Correct.
But we had to just run back and make do
We
with
had
whatever was in our
dresses.
room. Yeah, we had
Yeah,
dresses.
it
It
was
was
awesome.
I know it was very popular, like you said, when it was originally out there. It sounds like they did a nice job putting it back.
Yeah, they
They did a
really
very
did.
nice job.
I like it. You know what I'm noticing? I'm looking at, you got Narcoossee's next. Where's my beef eaters? Don't you have any? I'm like dying for a steak.
Well, we had a little bit of fun before Narcoossee's.
Okay.
So Selena arrived. So we had to start getting ready for the pin show on Saturday. So the building that we were in, Big Pine Key, is only the resort studios, and it has its own building. It has its own little lobby. And the only people that go in that little lobby, they walk through as if your room is in there.
Yeah.
But they have like a nice little sofa set up. So we thought, we really need to get our pins together. So we went up, we brought down a bottle of champagne, and we got all of our pins and we set it up. I think we sent you and Marguerite a picture of assorting all of our pins to get them ready for the show on Saturday. So we were there for a couple hours. And the fun thing was people would come in and out of the lot, and they would come over. Oh, can I see your pins? That's really great. A couple people went up to trade.
Yeah.
Some of the kids came over. We probably talked to, I don't know, a dozen people at least, in and out. And we were chatting with other guests, and it was very relaxing. Like I said, we didn't have a lot to do with this trip. But that was a really fun afternoon.
Good idea.
And then,
It was really fun. I said to Wendy, I wish I had a camera set up in the corner rolling the whole time to catch people's reactions, because there's people that are pin people that would come over and trade and talk, but then there's a lot of people that aren't pin people that would walk by and be like, oh my gosh, did you see all those? Like, what is that? What's happening?
Did you really trade some?
We did trade some.
Good
Mhm.
job. That's
There was
awesome.
there's a guy came over. Wasn't he a cast member?
Yeah, he was a cast member.
He was looking for certain things. So it was actually a really unplanned, fun afternoon.
That'd be great to do in any, especially the deluxe resorts where you're chilling out, enjoying the resort, and yeah.
I mean, there was no cast members present. There's no, it was
Right.
it wasn't like you did it in the lobby where there was a lot of activity tearing in, and it's not like that at all. Because there's only people that were in and out of that little lobby as if you were staying at that.
I think there's a lot of spaces in the deluxe resorts you could do that. That's awesome.
Yeah, there are.
I like that.
Yeah. And then we went to Narcoossee's for dinner.
I mean, I've heard geeks talk about this being a loud place. Did you enjoy Narcoossee's?
It
don't think it
wasn't
was
that
loud.
loud this time because we were the ones that said how loud it was that time in January. But we kept commenting on there was a lot of families with small children,
Mm-hmm.
which I haven't seen. Usually, like anybody that's staying as a family at Grand Floridian usually goes to 1900 Park Fair or Grand Floridian Cafe. They're a little more casual. 1900 Park Fair, it's a character meal. Citricos and Narcoossee's, I feel like, are usually pretty light on the kids. And this time there was like every table basically was like a family with small children. But it wasn't loud. It was fine.
Well, our table was along the window, and I'm wondering if the time that you said it was really loud, were you in the middle of the restaurant?
No, we were on
You're
the
also
side.
on the side? Okay.
I think you were with us. Were you not?
I don't,
No, maybe you hadn't come yet.
don't
It was
think so.
Noreen and Tony Ann and Andy and
no, I
Michelle.
But the food is really good. Sam and I both had the black and red fish with no chorizo, which I was super happy that was an option.
Yes, which that's one of my favorite things.
And Selena had the mushroom and potato cannelloni. And it was, for being a vegan dish, it was a vegan or vegetarian?
I don't remember.
But it was very heavy. It was like it looked like manicottis. And they were stuffed with like mushrooms and some kind of sauce. And she only had I would say maybe half of one.
Yeah.
She thought it was kind of a little heavier too, which was interesting because you would think it would be a lighter dish being a vegetarian dish, but it wasn't. She didn't say she didn't like it.
Yeah, I think she thought it was good. It was just a lot of food.
Yeah.
And we had
I know you love bread pudding. How was the chocolate sourdough bread pudding?
Well, it's actually Selena's idea.
They
to
had
order.
said, "Do you want dessert?" And Wendy and I were both like, "No, we're okay." And so I was like, "Nope, there's something I would like to try in this menu."
So we tried it. So it was interesting because it was chocolate, but I have to say, I love my Boma bread pudding and even the Ohana bread pudding that I had last week because I was at Ohana last week with my kids and grandkids. I would say it wasn't as good as that. It was not as moist, but it was chocolate. So that chocolate did elevate it a little bit.
It was good. I liked that. I would get that again. Yeah.
Lots of great. Yeah, you Grand Floridian, you did good on the meals. And I like that you're hitting all of the Magic Kingdom here. You got Friday and you still have some more good places.
So I had to work on Friday morning. So Wendy and Selena went over to the Polynesian and went to Kona while I took some
We got out of the
class.
room because she had to do some calls and stuff. So we went to Kona Cafe. So I got a kid's meal, which I do often. And for breakfast, it's like plenty. It's like a little bit of eggs, a little bit of fruit, and like one little kid-sized Mickey waffle. Like, and it's not even, I mean, the price is obviously great, but it's not even that. It's just sometimes their breakfasts are so big. But Selena went there with a plan. She wanted the macadamia nut pancakes like that. She was missing them, and that's what she wanted. And she was super happy she got them.
Yeah, that Kona has always impressed me. It's always like available and it's a good last minute choice. But yeah, breakfast, that's one of the famous things. Isn't the banana pancakes too?
I think so.
Yes, I think there is banana
Yeah.
pancakes.
But yeah,
And for us at the Grand Floridian, we were able to walk over there.
right. Oh, I love the Polynesian, and Kona is always a good hidden gem, I think. I always had a good meal there. Like it.
Yeah, I mean, you made that reservation like the night before.
I think so. Yes. And then Friday, we decided we had to check out of our hotel because we were switching hotels. And we were moving over to Wilderness Lodge, but we wanted to go meet Rob Manderi and his wife Katie and his son Jackson. So we got to have lunch with them off property. We went to like a agave bandito Mexican restaurant, I think like in Winter Garden, because we were going to go to the pin store that's up that way. So we met them for lunch, which was super fun. Yeah. Then we did our errand at the pin store. And then we got back to the hotel and checked in and had our little incident with the bell service gentleman. And then we just decided to eat on property. So we just went to Geyser Point. I had like the bison burger and you had a veggie burger. Yeah. And I think Selena had a salad with chicken in it. And that was good. And then we're all going to go in the hot tub. And then I bailed at the last minute. And Selena and Sam went.
I went into the bathroom to change into my bathing suit under the allure that everybody was going to the hot tub. So I needed to also go. And I came out of the bathroom and Wendy was in her pajamas. And I said, how did this happen? I thought we were all going to the hot tub. And Wendy said, well, I figured since you were going, I didn't need to go. I said, I'm only going because everybody was going.
Selena wanted to go. So I said I would go with her, that she would have someone to go with. And then Sam's going, so I don't have to go.
So I told Selena when we got there, we poured ourselves each a glass of champagne to take with us. And I said, you have got this one glass of champagne worth of time of me in the hot tub. And as we were walking, she goes, why do you have more champagne than I have? And I was like, you drank some of yours. She goes, you know what? Doesn't matter. It gives me more time in the hot tub.
Did Selena get the good champagne?
Yeah, Selena gets good champagne.
All right.
Yeah. And she brought a bottle with her.
A couple bottles with her.
Okay. That's I love the hot tubs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, next time you can go with Selena and I can stay home.
And also something we didn't know is there's a regular hot tub at the Wilderness Lodge, which when we went and looked at, it's all kids in it. We're like, yeah, we're not going in that one. But the Boulder Ridge has its own pool and its own hot tub. That was a little bit less crowded. Yeah. So it looked a lot a lot nicer.
I know what you mean. I remember one time, I think I was at the Polynesian and the kids were swimming in the hot tub, like going underwater.
I will say, I was telling Wendy, by the time we were leaving the hot tub, there was a trio of pretty small children, like I would say under 5. And we were getting out and just relaxing. But they were sprinting from the pool to the hot tub and back to the pool and back to the hot tub and back to the pool. And eventually I had to get out of there because I was like, nobody's watching these children and one of them's going to crack their head on this cement and I'm going to have to be the responsible adult around.
Right. Well, the last thing you got here on your notes is stories, but we haven't even talked about your pin stories or the pin show.
So Saturday morning we got up, checked out, and then we went to the pin show, which was at the Holiday Inn on Hotel Plaza Boulevard. So it's something that is done once a month by the Disney Pin Collector Society. There's all kinds of pin shows. Like there's like a different Facebook group that has them on like a different day, and they try to spread them all out so people can go all the time and do these shows. But it's one that we went to before, and it's like $5 to get in, and you bring your stuff around. But it's $45 to get a table, and you have a spot to put all your stuff so you don't have to carry it around with you, and people come to you. So it's really, especially with 3 people, it's really a much better option. So we set up there on Saturday. We got there before 9. We set up, and I think we were there until about 4.
Yeah.
And we did a ton of pin trading. I mean, we couldn't even eat our lunch. Like, there was so much going on.
Wow.
It was, it was busy. I mean, there's hundreds of people that go through there.
Yeah.
And it happens, like I said, that one goes once a month, but there's like another one that goes once a month. I would say every weekend there's a pin show somewhere.
There was something going on Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday. We missed the Thursday and Friday ones. We opted to hang out and drink champagne at the hotel room.
So you're happy with the table and the success of trading and having fun at the pin show?
Yeah, it's really fun.
But sometime during the day, that's when Sam got the notification from Delta that her flight was canceled.
Oh, yeah. So we're in the middle of the pin show, and I just get a text message from Delta saying, your flight was canceled. We tried to rebook you and we're unsuccessful. Hi, Margita. Oh, she can't hear us.
Hi, Margita.
She's reminding me at 4:30 I have to walk the dog.
Yes, you have to go walk the dog.
Hi.
So they said, your flight was canceled. We tried to rebook you and we're unsuccessful. Here's a link to try it yourself.
Oh.
So the next thing I could get was, I tried Orlando. I tried Sarasota and Tampa because I could go back with Wendy. I tried Fort Lauderdale because I could have gone back with Selena. So I've got 4 outbound options and 3 inbound options because I could go JFK or LaGuardia, and Newark is like data fine just to fly into, but I couldn't if I had to. Nothing.
Wow.
So I came back with Wendy for 2 days, and here we are.
Do you have a flight yet?
Yeah, I'm flying out at 2:30 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay.
Monday.
Well,
Monday. So I'll have to work from home tomorrow, but
it's all
That's what
worked out. It's worked out. I'm sure Wendy doesn't mind.
assuming that flight doesn't get canceled, it's all worked out. And while we were sitting here recording, I got upgraded to Comfort Plus. So
Excellent.
So I know we have to wrap this up because I know Margita wants you to get going, but are you going to ask our favorite part?
Oh, I didn't plan for this. Did you plan for it?
I did.
I was going to ask you, what was your favorite part of this trip?
Excellent.
I was looking back over our notes, and as we were talking, even in the car as we were making our notes before we sat down, I think the Thursday afternoon that the 3 of us had champagne in the lobby and we're organizing our pins and we're chatting with the people coming in. That was really my favorite part, which is kind of crazy because it's not even in the parks. It was just doing that together, but it was really my favorite of all the things we did during the week.
We know this and we still don't think about it that much. Isn't it the things you don't plan that always ends up being your favorite part?
Mm-hmm. I guess it's true. Yeah.
Spontaneity or something. It's interesting. We all got to be aware of this because it happens all the time.
Do you have a favorite part or you haven't thought of it enough?
That is high on the list.
Okay.
But I think my favorite part was having champagne with Trey in our room.
Okay.
And joking about him graduating to the good stuff. And we sat and we're talking about the origin of that joke and some old stories. That's when we talked about grilled cheesegate.
We got to reminisce.
Yes.
So you'll see this.
That's always fun.
This was a very champagne heavy trip because I brought a bottle, then Sam got a bottle from Epcot, and then when Selena
can tell,
came, she brought champagne.
The delivery.
We did.
Story.
We'll have to save that for another time because Kurt has to go. But we got champagne. We got a delivery from Total Wine of alcohol and champagne, and they made
there was
mistakes.
a little mix up, so we may have benefited.
We got a little.
What's Trey's graduation?
That's him graduating to the good stuff.
From the Once Upon a Vine, from the gift shop champagne to Booth.
Well, congratulations, Trey. That's a...
Well, it wasn't... We joked that he graduated, and then we realized that original story happened 4 years ago, which is the time it would normally take to graduate something. So it fit perfectly.
And we always have fun with the friends we've met through the podcast.
Yes. And it was a really nice surprise because we kind of just planned this trip, the 2 of us. We bullied Selena into coming up for a couple of days last minute, but then
got to see Jen.
We got to see Jen. We got to see Trey. We got to see Rob and Katie. So,
yeah, it worked out really well.
I love it. You had more fun than I thought you would have during this trip. I didn't realize. I thought it was like
You
a couple.
think the two of us would go to Disney and not have a lot of fun.
It was longer than I thought.
Go to Disney, go anywhere, and not have a lot of fun.
I was concerned you didn't have enough content for a podcast, but as usual, I'm wrong.
We just ate a lot, I guess.
We went to more restaurants than we went rides.
I like it. Well, I just recorded an episode with Chris Futrell. Matter of fact, it's coming out tomorrow as we're recording this, and it's things you can do without ever going into the parks.
Yeah, there's lots to be done. There is.
But
Selena didn't get a park ticket for her 2 days that she was there.
Yeah.
And I know Trey got, and there was like an after 2 p.m. park ticket that they were doing. So he got that for a couple days.
I love it. Great. And thanks for recording a little bit early. I'm going to see friends of the podcast. I'm going to see Pat and Sandy and Judy and Ken. We're going out for dinner.
Fun. What are Pat and Sandy doing in town?
They seem to like hanging out with us. I don't know. They're close enough, and they're from Buffalo. They have
That's not close.
Buffalo's not close.
I'll ask them that maybe they're passing through on in their mobile home.
Is it going to be a lobster roll night?
No, this is at Infinity Hall in Norfolk. This is a place. It's got a little concert hall, but I think only on the weekends serve meals. And Judy and Ken's daughter-in-law works there. And there might be I think there's something special. They're probably doing something special for a meal. So it'll be, it's a cute little town, very New England. Northwest corner.
Well, I hope you have fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I got to go walk Sawyer and out to dinner with friends.
Sounds like a good night.
Well, good seeing you and talking to you guys again.
You do. And hopefully we'll see you in September.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the September trip. Yeah, Wendy. We'll have to wing some plans together.
What are your dates?
Going to 19th. I know we're going for, I think, 9 days. Does that take me to the 28th?
Because I'll be there the 25th to the 27th, just my dad.
Oh, okay. I'm starting to get trickles in of reports of people going to be there at that time.
Yeah, I know Holly's going to be there for a couple nights with her daughter.
Yes, Holly messaged me.
I'm there the 13th through the 18th, but I'm going to leave when you're coming in, so I'll go there one day for the day or one quick overnight just to say hello.
We may have a couch for you, Wendy. You don't mind?
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, guys, stay in touch. Thanks for all the texting while you were there and all the pictures and doing the trip report for me.
Okay, and I hope Margita was not horrified. We only went on 3 rides, but we couldn't help not telling her.
You have a really good point. She doesn't have to be scared of girls' trips because we'll bring Noreen and they can go ride rides. And we'll give her champagne.
That's true.
Margie would be happier than anything to just do it by herself. Trust me. Thanks, guys.
All right. Have fun, Kurt.
Have fun.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Wendy and Samantha, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing another great trip report. 5 nights, 3 resorts, whole lot of food, pin trading, and champagne, and somehow only 3 rides. I love that Alice in Wonderland tea. Getting an update on that new experience. Or should I say revising an old experience. I loved your favorite memories. They weren't really the things you planned. They were those simple moments hanging out with friends, sorting pins, telling old stories, and enjoying being together. That's a pretty good reminder that sometimes the best Disney memories just happen. I always want to thank everyone who supports the podcast by booking or transferring their vacations through Margita and Judy, the Traveling Tiaras. They can help you with Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, Universal, Epic Universe, and beyond. Email them, travelingtiaras@gmail.com. Your support means so much to us. And a big thank you to my Patreon family. That's a website you can go to donate to the show. Your support helps cover the cost of producing the podcast, keeps us going every week, puts gas in my tank. If you'd like to join us, go to patreon.com/geekin on WDW. Thank you, geeks. I really appreciate you. And don't forget to check out my new podcast, Geekin on Travel. I just recorded a really fun episode with my friend Joe Taylor and his wife Karen, along with Glenn and Rebecca, talking about Glenn and Rebecca's trip to Portugal. Joe and Karen were also there, so they added some more color commentary. We get into their experiences, what they loved, what surprised them, and plenty of ideas for anybody who might have Portugal on their travel bucket list. So look for Geekin' on Travel wherever you listen to podcasts, and I'd love to have you come geek out on travel with us too. Hope to get that episode out there soon. You can always come join us on our Geekin' on Walt Disney World Facebook community. Could you spend 5 nights at Disney World and only ride 3 attractions? Hey, if you got a recent trip report, Disney story, or a fun topic you'd like to geek out about, reach out to me and come on the show. I'd love to have you record with me. Email me, kurt.stone@geekinonww.com. Wendy and Samantha, thanks again, and congratulations to Trey on finally graduating to the good champagne. Thank you so much for listening and going geeking on Walt Disney World with us. We love this community. We love you geeks. Until next time, keep taking care of each other. Have a magical day, and may all your dreams come true.